So we're on Church Road in Hendon, and in the distance you can just see Middlesex University, the campus there, and they've got some almshouses. You want to turn around, this is the Cladder Ring. Just make that out. And then that road there taking you down to Brent Street, Finchley and that lot. And the Cladder Ring has been the Cladder Ring since the 1990s. Before that it was called the Midland, which is to do with the Midland Railway, who their railway went through this area not far from here. Strange really calling it that when the railway is a bit down the road, but anyway. So these almshouses you can see here built in the 1720s, can you believe that? This is proper ancient Hendon. Almshouses built in the will of Robert Daniel Merchant. So we're now on to Church End. Again, so this is, to me, and forgive me, but I'm probably wrong when I say this, but I call this sort of old Hendon. But it's Church End Hendon, and there is other bits of Hendon, of course. But it's very nice. It's not what it used to be. And the building we're coming up to here used to be a pub. I think it was called the Checkers. But it stopped being the Checkers at least 10 years ago. And it's now a nursery, kids' nursery. So, more change. I think it's still got some of the original. No, they just took all that away. I thought it had the old windows in, but it's been stripped out. And you've got that up there, it says the Checkers. It's, see, late spring, almost summer. And we're moving along to the Church of St Mary's. It's a rather nice 1930s house here, Sherrick House, with all its original windows. And this very 1960s bits that presumably used to be shops. There's now just one newsagent, so it looks decidedly like it's shut. And a community centre, and then this rather nice building here, which I would assume is actually 1800s, if not a little bit earlier. With this fantastic portico entrance with the sort of seashell thing going on. And then we're getting up to the Greyhound pub. Now this is not the original Greyhound pub. This is being built, I would have imagined, probably the early 1900s. St Mary's Cottage. It's all very lovely in the sun with all the trees and everything, isn't it? Looks like there's some decorating going on outside the pub again. Blimey, new owners again. This is the church, St Mary's, and I can take you a little walk round the outside of the church. Why not? You never would think that you're not that far away from all the high density stuff at Conindale. And this old yew tree, and this is very old Hendon, and this tree is very old. How old I don't know, but it's a good few hundred years old at least, if not more than that. But yeah, you're away from all the madness up here. There's a little path of sorts through the graveyard. So I was talking about the railway. It's not that far away, is it? Never really occurred to me. The railway is just down there. No, it's not. Sorry, I'm talking absolute rubbish. That's just a piece of grass. I thought it was the railway. Golf ball. Golf course not far away, perhaps. Never really thought about this piece of land over here. No idea. Back of the church. If the camera works a bit bumpy and shaky, it's because the ground is really rough underfoot. It's lovely though, isn't it? Oops. So this church appears in lots of photographs and paintings showing the area at a very different sort of time. Robin singing. This is the back of the pub, the Greyhound, and why Greyhound Hill is called Greyhound Hill. Church bin. I watch my battery actually. So I'm going to go to the other side of the road, I think. Probably safer. So this is Greyhound Hill. There's the Greyhound. The site of the church house, former location of parish meetings. And then you got, that used to be the London Borough of Barnet's museum. But it's in fact a very, very old building. Model farmhouse, sorry, that rapid movement. Model farmhouse, the model farmhouse, which was attached to this here, because there was a farm up here. And this building we're coming up to is just fantastic. I always loved this. It was the milking shed, I believe, or the dairy, one of the two. It's all owned by Middlesex University now. Like I said, Middlesex University are sort of pretty much taking over this bit of the world. Oh look, it's up for sale. All inquiries, Barnet Estates Property Services. So they're selling it. So Barnet Council, obviously that's strapped for money that they're actually selling this old building. Like I said, it used to be the museum for the London Borough of Barnet. Church End Farmhouse. Nothing on it to say exactly how old it is, but it's old. It's very old. It must be 1600s, 1600s, something like that. But yeah, the Barnet is selling it. Oh dear. What a shame. But they need the money. And I hope they spend it wisely when they get it. There's the milking shed or the dairy, one of the two, but it's fantastic. It's actually in better condition than I remember it, so I suppose Middlesex University have some good points. There's a car coming. I'm going to get over the road quickly. Now, where I'm coming up to, this is Sunny Hill House. I'm just trying to think, there's somewhere. I've put up a picture of two guys who are standing next to a signpost. One's got a bicycle. They're looking down here, and there's an aeroplane flying. And so that's about 1900. Because down here, where you can see all those modern buildings, there, that's where Hendon Aerodrome used to be. Bus going past. Now, if I had the time and inclination and battery power, I would go through there. That's Sunny Hill Fields up there, or Sunny Hill Park as it's called, but that used to be the cheap seats for when they used to have air shows back in the early 1900s, when it was the original London Aerodrome, and then in the 1920s and 30s when they used to have the pageants, and people would sit up on the fields out there in the park and watch the aeroplanes fly around because it was an easy option. You weren't so close to the action, but you certainly did see everything you needed to see, and it didn't cost a penny. So this is taking you down Greyhound Hill. Now, I've done a video in the past which was walking along in Graham Park. I'm trying to remember the name of the road now. Aerodrome Road, of course. So this would actually join up to that video, so I should put a link, shouldn't I, really? Because although it's done in reverse, I'm not walking up, I'm walking down, it does link in with that video. My thrilling videos, which always get such great rave reviews. Probably need to make them more interesting, probably make them more funny. Probably should put myself on camera a little bit. Do you want a bit of that? Let's just put my... There we go, look, hello. I'm actually wearing my Northwest London Time Machine t-shirt, produced last year, which was not a great success, it has to be said. I think I sold a grand total of about 6, but I might have another crack at that and make it more interesting one day. Who knows? Let's go back to my face. Get all the bunting out, because it was V-Day. I guess that's why. There could be anything now, any excuse to get the Union flag out. Any excuse. Sunny fields. Anyway. So yes, now you can see in the distance there that great big tower, which is probably the tallest building at Beaufort Park. I'm actually heading down that way. I'm meeting a friend Ian, who I used to work with on a magazine. The magazine was called Best of British Magazine, which is still going. It's a nostalgia magazine. I used to do the sell the advertising space. He was my manager, and I used to have to ring up people and say, would you like to advertise in Best of British Magazine? And in most occasions people said, no, I would not like to, or what's that magazine about? And every so often I actually used to sell some advertising space. There's nothing against the magazine, it's just it's very difficult to get people to advertise in print these days because everybody wants to be online. So let's see, it says, when I press the right button, it says Greyhound Hill, and then it says Sunny Hill over there. So we have Sunny Hill Fields further up. And we're now just walking down towards the A41, otherwise known as the Watford Way. Just a moment to have a look at some of these houses. So some of these houses haven't had any work done for a while. Some of them have been what is commonly referred to as grey plague. This is where houses are given the thoroughly modern treatment, painted grey, grey window frames, grey slate tiles, and basically knock out any of its character, because that now looks like that. There's another one over there. I mean, I'm not being rude. I mean, these are people's homes. They can do what they want when they bolt them, but it's all a bit, I don't know. It's all a bit samey. I know that a lot of these houses when they were built were a bit samey, but grey. Why go for grey? There's another one over there. Why? Grey is it's not a colour. It's not a colour. Anyway, that's a little interlude there from Caustic Mark, his views of the world. That's not why you watch these videos. Let's try not to get sprayed by someone with a Karcher. I'm going to get wet, I know it. Good job there's not a water ban, is there? Eh? This development here was built in the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, I'm very bad with my dates sometimes, but it is definitely from that time period. Java Court. I don't know why it was called that. Presumably Java coffee was all the rage. Or it's because the developer was Indonesian, I don't know. You see on the other side, the low scale development from the 1920s versus that. So you would have had something similar on the other side. And then they decided to take it down. I mean, I can't remember. I really cannot remember. So when I finished off the old video a few weeks back, I was over there. So I'm now here. And this is the A41, and that's that way, as I'm pointing to, that takes you to Mill Hill. Yeah, I think Mill Hill. Five Ways Corner, all of that lot. And then that way is the other way, presumably to Watford, eventually. So yes, I think that's our video done now, isn't it really? Taking you up from the top of the hill down to the bottom. And I'm probably well advised not to actually do any more because it's so busy. This is a mental road junction. I mean, this stuff is like a racetrack when it's going along here at peak times, if it's free. So I will bid you adieu. I've got to go down the underpass. That's going to be fun. Let's see if I can cross the road now. I mean, really, this is so dangerous, isn't it? I must show you this shot front. Unfortunately, my mother, I don't think, gets to see these videos, but Patra Selections, you see that? And we can see the ghost sign that says Patra Selections. My mother bought stuff from there in the 1980s and 90s. They used to sell clothing, ladies' clothing. She stopped being that a long time ago. These are sort of nose shops, aren't they? They're not really anything. But back when they built all this, when the A41 was a lot less busy, these would have been all sorts of shops, like a greengrocer, you know, possibly a tailor, I don't know, radio shop, all sorts of things. Now it's just, it's inevitable food shops. Now see these tile murals, kites. This is indicating Sunny Hill, where people did used to fly kites. And as we go down here through the underpass, we might see something else as well, because what it should do is make the transition from kites to aeroplanes because of the aerodrome being nearby. Now, it's been a long time since I've been through this underpass, so I could be wrong. Let's see what happens. No, it's just more kites. Kites, 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 kites. Right, up here. So yes, I am literally taking you right back to the end of the video that I did a few weeks ago. It's not the most stunning end to the video, but hey ho, get to see that development on the other side of the road. So that's it really. I shall sorry, thank you, just to get in people's way. So we're down the other side of the road, down towards those bridges where I was some time back. There's nothing really new to say, so I'll finish off and say thank you for watching. I hope this might be of some interest to somebody, and if you've never been to Hendon, at least you've seen a bit of it now. I don't know whether that's going to make you want to come here, but you might want to come to the RAF Museum, which is nearby, and that's where I'm going now. I'm going to meet my friend Ian, and then we're going to have lunch at the Beaufort pub, which is a relatively new pub built about 20 years ago, 15-20 years ago. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.